Welcome back to Studio F, where on Fast Times with Willy B, we'll be talking about Destroy All Neighbors. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell?
Welcome back to Fast Times with Willy B. I'm Willy B, and today I got Brennan on the show. Brennan, how we feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's finally good to get down here.
Yeah.
It's been a while trying to find what to get me on for, but fortunately, I think seems like we found it.
We found the perfect fit, right? So we got Destroy All Neighbors, directed by Josh Forbes. Jonah Ray Rodriguez is our main star in this. He plays the main character, William. Some recognizable people, we got Thomas Lennon, who's in some comedies here and there. Alex Winter, if you're a Lost Boys fan like me, he's Marco in the Lost Boys. So some faces that if you are into movies, you recognize. I wouldn't say that a basic movie person would recognize these names, but if you're really into movies, especially 80s, Alex Winter's a cool one. Let's start with the good. This will probably be a quick review because it's kind of a weird movie to review, and the good doesn't have a lot.
No,
but let's start with the good. I would say the first thing's the aesthetic. It definitely has like an 80s, 90s B horror movie feel to it, and I did enjoy that.
Yeah, for sure. You texted me literally yesterday saying, hey, I got this movie that's coming out on Shudder that, I think we should check out. And, you kind of gave me this inside scoop, one of those dumb, fun horror movies, and like you said, like the 80s aesthetic. So, it definitely had that, but beyond that, man, I don't know.
When I texted you, I did say this has a movie that looks like it could be really dumb fun, or a movie that just be horrible. I think we both know kind of where we fell, but, we'll get into the story later, but I would say the practical effects were good for me as well. Mostly practical. Wasn't very many special effects, but obviously very small budget.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even disclose it. That's how it's small.
Yeah.
But I thought they did well with the practical effects with these ghost zombie characters. One's beheaded almost the entire movie.
Yeah.
Is just a head. One kind of gets ran over and has the tire track wasn't the greatest practical effects, but overall, I thought outside of the mouth not matching the words, I thought the burnt lady, the practical effects were really good on her.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy the practical effects. Again, that feeling of 80s, 90s. You could tell it's small budget.
Yeah.
And then I thought the van was cool. It was a vibe.
Yeah. There was not much to it. It was just a gray van. But man, that
carrying dead bodies.
Right.
That just adds to the aesthetic, Outside of that, there's not much more to add to the good.
I really don't think I have anything else. It was not something I expected.
No.
But,
so let's.
You gave me the heads up though.
I did give you the heads up. I gave you the disclaimer.
Fair. Yeah.
So let's hop over to the Met. This is where I would put the story. So we have William is this prog rock wannabe. He works at a studio, but he's not getting to record this guy that's very odd. I can't remember his name. What was it? The artist that's big name.
Oh. Caleb Bang Jansen.
Yeah, Caleb Bang Jansen.
You got to make sure you say the full name, though.
He's recording there. He's an engineer at this studio, but he wants to be recording. A new neighbor moves in, creating a lot of ruckus. It leads to him not being able to focus, and then he accidentally kills this character. It leads to the death of somebody else, and then to somebody else, and it just keeps going on until all of these zombie ghost people are his band, and they make this epic prog rock album.
Yeah, helping him out. Trying to put it all together. That he's what did his wife say? He was working on it for 3 years or something. Oh.
But I didn't dislike the story, but I didn't like it either. So that's why I'm putting it in the meh category. It's a story that makes sense in the realm of B movies. I've seen a lot worse stories, obviously, in movies, but it wasn't good either. It wasn't, I think most of the story's issues were pacing, which we'll get into, but it was kind of all over the place, so that kind of hurt it, but it was still a decent enough story to follow.
Yeah, when you look at it, like, as a whole, I would put it as, it's kind of in between.
Yeah.
But I think the pacing and just, it was very jumpy, and I don't know, it was hard to follow for me personally.
Yeah.
And I don't know. To me, I didn't like it. I just
So
think it's bad.
I feel like you're ready to jump to the bad category because that's where about everything in this movie is for you. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, that van, the van carried.
The van carried. So let's hop to the bad, and like I said, let's start with pacing. Like I said, I enjoyed the story enough, but it being all over the place, the pacing was messy. It would be fat. It felt like some scenes would be rushed, and then it felt like some scenes would kind of drag on. It was, like you said, it was all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was, I don't know. I personally felt like it was, an hour, 30 minutes?
It was an hour 26.
That's even worse. I feel like they could have cut a lot out to get story, to not jump so much. But, I mean, that puts it, that's a short movie if they do all that.
It felt like it probably would have fared better as a short.
Yeah, I could see that, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, it was funny because after the first kill, you were like, you could have ended the movie right there.
Yeah.
And it been a fun short.
Yeah, I don't know. It took a while for me to get into it. I think we were probably not even 10, 15 minutes in, and I was feeling like we were pushing 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But, you gave me hope saying, maybe after this first kill.
After the bloodshed, maybe we'll get... It definitely got better.
Yeah.
After the first kill.
It had its moments, but I felt like there was just a lot thrown in there that... could have been left out for sure.
It's hard to even call it a first kill. It's more of just a first death because
he
doesn't really kill him.
Right.
Slips on a chicken wing.
Slips and...
The second guy's an accident too. The third one's really the only killing.
Yeah.
If you think about it. And he was being attacked by him, so it's justified.
Right.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm really looking at this, I'm like, if he took the right approach to things, he would never wound up in jail.
No, not at all. The first one, like you said, an accident. He slipped. He stabbed himself with what? A barbell, which the end's not even sharp.
Yeah. And then his head got knocked off by a cinder block.
Yeah, that part decapitated.
It got illegal once he started chopping up his body into pieces to get rid of the body.
Yeah, and going to get the acid. Oh man, but then you get the second one, which even then it was Vlad's hand at the pedal that kind of forced on him. I will say, we're still in the bad, but I do want to give props. I did like the twist that Augie, the homeless guy, was his idol. Yes. I did like that was his hero. Yeah,
the guy that got him into Prague Rock.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate that obviously didn't find out until after he was
I thought that was cool.
Dead.
I thought that was a cool little twist.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Continuing with the bad, I would say the acting at times. I'm going to leave out Alex Winter here because I thought Vlad was probably the best part of this movie.
I agree. I like Vlad.
And I will leave... I'll leave the girl that ends up getting burnt. The maintenance.
Yeah.
She deals with maintenance in the apartment building. I would say she did a good job too. Outside of that, even our main characters, his girlfriend, I thought the acting was kind of stale.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like a lot was just kind of shoved in there. There was not anything special to it. But yeah, very few performances that were...
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to move the needle, for sure. Continuing with the bad, this is advertised as a horror comedy. It definitely, with the gore and if you're into blood horror, it met on that standard, but the comedy was not good.
No,
I don't think I maybe chuckled once or twice, but that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just, I don't even know if it was corny and cheesy. To me, it just wasn't anything.
It felt like it could have been a really compelling story with better writing.
Definitely, I could agree with that.
The dialogue was well,
I don't know. There's just a lot bad with this for me.
Continuing the emotion, I feel like they tried to create emotion between William and his girlfriend, but from the get-go, it kind of seemed like they weren't anything. And so once the murders happened and she's on the loudspeaker trying to get him to just come out and let go of the hostages, it's like I just don't feel the emotion there. I just don't feel like, you know what I mean? It just felt like a stretch.
Yeah, I can see that, and I would also agree. And I mentioned this before we started, the character Alec, that he sees first moving out, which kind of opened up that vacant apartment. You see him at the beginning, and then he's just gone until some random scene later on. And he added nothing to the move, like the story, to anything. And I would almost put her in that same, like, she had more to do with it, but to me it seemed just almost as pointless as having him.
For sure. Alec and I think Emily, what's her name? I would say those two were definitely characters that were not developed at all in this story. No. I don't think character development is the main goal in a horror comedy either, but it definitely, like, they just felt like they were there. They felt like placeholders.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just...
even if they were left out, I don't think it affects the movie one bit.
No, you could have almost just started the movie with the first kill, and then all of him and the ghost hanging out, and I think it would have been actually better.
Just trying to throw the album together. Yeah.
I think it might have been a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, it's just, cutting out some characters that didn't need to be there might have been the move. For sure. For a movie about, rock and roll, prog rock, and making an album, the music wasn't great.
No, I didn't think it was anything special.
It felt very television-esque. Like a movie, you'd be watching a sitcom, and the songs that are playing in between scenes would be like that type of thing. Yeah. I did like the bridge that he wrote and was like the bridge of his big song. I thought the bridge was good. Outside of that, like I said, the music kind of... It felt like it didn't fit. It kind of felt like...
It was very random. Yeah. Which, I feel like most of this movie was.
It felt like they didn't hire somebody to write a score for them. It felt more like they're like, all right, what's royalty-free on YouTube?
Right. And just kind of thrown something in there. Like, yeah.
There'd be like little like Jeopardy music almost in the scene when he's thinking. Like, it was just like it was stuff like that. And I was like, okay. Maybe we're being too hard on it. Obviously, it's a low-budget B movie released on Shudder, but I thought it'd be more fun.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be more fun. I think that's what disappointed me the most.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those movies are probably hit or miss.
Yeah,
but most of the time, I feel like I enjoy them.
Yeah,
but this one definitely fell short for me.
I saw this early review on it before it was even released on Shudder. Somebody that had early access to it, they said, this movie's a lot like prog rock. You either love it or hate it. And there's not going to be anybody in between. I feel like, and I've seen that in the early reception, it seems like everybody's giving it an 8 or higher, or everybody's giving it like a 3 or lower.
Yeah.
There's nobody being like, it was a 5 out of 10.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that take. It is a lot like prog rock.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of people that could get behind this movie, for sure. There's probably going to be... I feel like the people that will get behind this, though, are the people that really enjoy B-movie horror.
Okay. That I can agree with.
I don't think like somebody like Rosie, who is a casual moviegoer, would just turn this on and be like, I'm enjoying this.
Right. Initially, like, you made that point, and I just think it's so bad for me that, like, I don't think I could see the flip side of things, like how people can enjoy it. But, there are people that are more into the B movies, than I am personally.
Yeah, for sure.
So I could agree with that. Trying to see from their perspective, who's more in that realm area.
You're gonna stop going to movies with me in January, because last year was Megan, which I enjoyed. Megan, I did. Oh, I know that was Megan. One of your least favorite movies.
I am probably that movie's biggest hater.
All right, so before we go to final thoughts, I need you to answer this question for me.
All right.
Megan or Destroy All Neighbors?
Destroy All Neighbors.
Wow. Yes. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's the hot take of 2024, and we're like 12 days in.
I might be Megan's biggest hater. I just did not enjoy that movie. That's a whole nother thing. That's not even this topic of this episode. But yeah, as bad as I thought Destroy All Neighbors was, I'm picking that over Megan.
All right. So let's hop over to final thoughts and rating. Is there anything you'd like to leave out, throw it all out now on this movie? And I know you're not a big score guy, but if you had to give this a score out of 10, what are you giving it?
They made the movie.
Yeah.
And there was parts that I did like.
Yeah.
And so I think, is it you that kind of, they at least tried to construct something? So
I never give a 0.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I was trying to get to.
Yep.
Oh, it's even hard for me to give this a 2 or a 3, but but I don't know. I mean, there was times that it was definitely enjoyable.
Yeah.
There's a lot more bad than good in my opinion, but I'll give it a 2.
A 2?
Yeah.
All right. For me, I'm leaning 3.
Okay.
I think this was one that, despite it not being good at all, it might be one I revisit down the road. I'm not gonna lie. It's one that I feel like with more watches might grow on you. I'm never gonna think this is a 7 out of 10 or higher.
Yeah.
But it kind of gave me the same feel as Microwave Massacre. I know you probably have never seen that movie, but it's this guy, he kills girls, cooks them in the microwave, eats them, and the guy that plays the cannibal is the guy that voices Frosty the Snowman. So that just adds to it. You hear happy birthday,
right.
like
then,
when he's killing these ladies. There's a scene where he's spreading mayo on a chick, and that's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
It kind of gave me that vibe where I'm like, this movie's bad, but
yeah.
There are some redeeming qualities.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you said, they made it. I do love supporting small budgets, indie movies. I love supporting people because, at the end of the day, I'd love to make a movie. So
Right.
Support the guys that
and
got to do
it. Like you said, just low budget. I mean, that could be a lot, maybe they didn't, like you said, they didn't hire anybody for the sound or something to throw.
Yeah, the sound was a little off, which we're done shitting on the movie, but I mean, there's things that you have to obviously cut costs. I mean, Alex Winter is your biggest star, and I know he's not a star at the end of the day unless you're a Lost Boys fan. I know it's Marco.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm gonna go 3 out of 10 for this one. Okay. To me, 3 out of 10 is very bad.
Yeah.
A notch down a 2 is terrible, and I wouldn't say it's borderline.
I was between a 2 and a 3.
I'm sticking with my 3.
I gotta go 2.
Like we were talking about, I did enjoy Vlad a lot. I thought he was a great character. I thought Alex Winter was great. I thought the special effects or the practical effects were great. The story was compelling, although not done well. 3 out of 10.
Okay.
3 out of 10. But I'm not mad that I watched it. I will say that.
No, not at all.
I think I'm a firm believer in give every movie a chance at least once.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, trailers. You can love something from a trailer. You can hate something from a trailer, but I'll give any movie a chance once. It could be the worst trailer, the worst movie poster, or the worst concept, and I'm going to give it a chance once because they got to make it. That's cool.
Right. I mean, not everybody can do that. Like you said, one day you hope to do the same thing.
Hopefully.
So, you got to try to support everybody.
Start somewhere, too.
Right, exactly.
So,
there's movies that start out low budget and release it, and they just pop off.
Well, this is getting some decent reception from critics.
Okay.
Not great, but some decent.
Yeah.
Who knows? This could lead to something for Josh Forbes and the writers.
Something new, something to add on.
You never know. Maybe some more Shudder originals end up being even better. So that's the cool thing about Shudder. I'm going to plug Shudder real quick. If you love horror and you're not spending the $7 a month for Shudder, what's wrong with you?
It's hard when you got a lifetime.
All right, I'll call Shudder after this episode to get a little advertising money. That'll do it for Destroy All Neighbors. Brennan, thank you for coming on.
Yep, thanks
Brennan
for having me.
Brennan will be back shortly for some ISS action, so stay tuned for some more Brennan and some content coming up as well, matching with some of the holidays of the year. Brennan will be back for that as well, so Brennan will return.
Can't
We're
wait.
going to put a little thing up like superhero movies. Deadpool will return. Brennan will return. But
close it out.
As always, thank you for all that watched. If you like what you're watching, check out some of these other videos. There's some good ones up there. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button. Social links in the description down below. Why not follow? You're already here. Right. But again, thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you all soon. Peace.